All right, welcome everybody to the first episode of the Filmtastic4 Podcast. I am Caleb Jeter. You can find me on all of my socials, Jeter the Jedi, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host KB, Jalen, and Sean. So we're gonna go around. Y'all can introduce yourselves, tell the listeners where they can find you on all of the socials. So kicking us off, I'll go to KB.
Hey guys, I'm KB. I'm 24 years old from Lebanon. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at KB Goes to the Movies. And you can also find me on Letterboxd at Khalil Bshara.
All right, we can go to Sean.
I'm Sean. I'm 20. I'm from Ireland, and you can find me on TikTok at Sean.films and on Letterboxd at SeanPlunkett18.
All right. And for Jalen.
Well, I'm Jalen, but I go by Draco Mays on all my socials. My TikTok's right there, Draco Mays 97. But on YouTube, Instagram, everything else, Letterbox, you just look up Draco Mays and you're gonna see me.
All right. Y'all all go follow us on all of our socials. Mine is Jeter the Jedi on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd. You can find all of us with our tags on our names. But further ado, it is spooky season. It is October. So we are going to be starting off our first episode with a horror draft. And I think we're all pretty big horror fans. Some of y'all may be bigger fans than me. So we might have some very interesting picks for our first draft. But with further ado, we're going to have the draft order being Draco at number 1, myself at number 2, KB at number 3, and Sean at number 4. And we're going to be doing it as a snake draft. So we'll go all the way through, and then it will reverse back. So who's ever at that fourth gets 2 picks back to back. But let's get started. We got Draco up first. So what is going to be your first pick of the horror draft?
First pick, I'm gonna go with Ready or Not.
Ready or Not. Nice.
That's surprising. It's an
That's
underrated.
actually a movie on my list, which I didn't expect anyone to pick. But
I love Ready or
good
Not.
on you.
It's a really good pick. I watched that for the first time not too long ago, and it is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Since I am next, and man, this is hard. So a week ago, I would have chose something different, but I just rewatched this recently. It is one of my all-time favorites. So I have to go with the original Scream.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's something I was gonna pick too. I don't want to use it too early, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I had to get that off the board because I don't think it would probably come back to me.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's my most rewatchable horror movie.
yes.
So first picks, we got Ready or Not from Draco and Scream for me. Now we're up to KB.
Well, I'm wearing the cap, so I'm gonna take Midsummer as my first pick.
Okay.
Midsummer, let's go.
That's my most rewatched horror film of all time, and probably my favorite.
Okay. I respect that. Yeah, that's my favorite Ari Aster one as well.
I have another favorite from Ari Aster, but I shall not.
Okay, so I have
All right, Sean is up now.
I'm surprised I still have these both. So for my first round pick, I'm gonna go with John Carpenter's The Thing. I'm really surprised. I only watched that recently for the first time like a month ago, and it's so good. I love it so much. I'm really surprised I actually got that one. And I have another round, don't I? So
Yeah, you're going back to back.
I watched it 2 days ago. I'm gonna go with The Exorcist.
Nice.
I'm so surprised I got those two, but I'm very happy with them though.
Still one that I have not seen.
Really?
I
I
am
think
uncultured.
it re-released in theaters this past week, I think, but I don't know if it's still
Yeah,
there.
it's 50th anniversary. Yeah, that's how I saw it in theaters for the first time actually.
I didn't. I don't think I had that around me. But did they do that because of the new one?
I
I
think
think
this
probably
does.
could be as well, just to get more ticket sales, I'd say.
And it's just October, so they're like,
Yeah.
let's release that. Well, all
Well,
right.
since I haven't watched many horror films, my second pick might be quite surprising. I'm gonna go for Coraline.
That's a good
That
one.
is surprising.
Nice.
I respect it though. I respect it.
My picks are going to be very out of pocket, and we'll just go with that.
Fair.
That is a good pick. I watched that for the first time in theaters last year.
That scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yes, it did.
All right, I am up. I can't believe it got back to me, but I'm very happy that it did. I'm going with Ari Aster's Hereditary.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
This
now-
is one of the scariest films I've ever seen. Like, I haven't
Oh.
seen many horror films, but this is one of the scariest I've seen.
That was the first horror movie that I started respecting horror, where I
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
yeah, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I look want to watch Hereditary with my mom just to get her reaction because she's not a horror fan at all.
Dude, my family would never. I just tried to explain it to them, and they're like, nope. Not
What's crazy is I was in the room with my mom. She turned on the TV, and like the last 20 minutes were playing, and she's saying like when she threw the book in the fire, caught on fire, going to the treehouse stuff. Like she wasn't paying attention, but I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, you not realize what's happening on the TV right now? I'm like, we
Yeah.
gotta watch it. We gotta watch it. But I hope she doesn't say no, because if I can make a video out of it,
Yeah.
All right, Draco, you're up. You got back-to-back picks.
now it's on me. Y'all came with some bangers, so I gotta come with a banger. Shaun of the Dead.
Woo!
Mm.
That's my favorite.
I want to take that off the list.
Another one on my list. So you've taken two out of my
Yeah.
list.
Hey, I'll text
Yeah,
you.
that was
today.
on my list as well.
Yeah, I'm in this as well.
That's my second favorite Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
What's
Right
your
now,
favorite?
it's currently my favorite.
That's my favorite Edgar Wright.
I respect it. I've only seen it once, so I need to rewatch it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And you got back-to-back pick.
Well, then for my third pick, I'm going to have to go with Mike Flanagan's Hush.
Woo!
Oh, I like that one. That's respect that one.
That's
I
the
love
only
the
Mike
Mike
Flanagan
Flanagan.
thing I've seen. Sadly, I'm
Did you
starting
watch that?
onto the Pill House this week.
Oh, you got it. You have to watch
Okay.
that, man. That,
Hush, that had me.
you definitely love The Haunting of the Hill House. Man, that's a perfect TV show in my opinion.
Looks
Mhm.
like
One
I'm
of the
getting
best
very
comedies.
busy October just keeping up with your picks.
I took that pick for you too.
No, just watching the films I haven't
Oh.
seen from your picks. No, that
Oh, yeah.
thank God that wasn't one of my picks.
I'm going to try to pick some
You've taken
obscure
two
ones.
so far.
I have lots to choose from. I'll take it easy. I'm looking at my letterbox right now, actually.
I guess I'm up. It's there. It's one of my favorites of the last decade, and that is Get Out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Uh,
I had a strong feeling everybody was going to have it, so I don't even put it on
Yeah.
the list.
Dude, I'm really happy with mine right now.
I mean, it's a good pick.
Yeah, that's like more my speed. Like I like psychological horror the most,
yeah.
and I think that is like the top tier of psychological horror. And it's just one that like while I was watching it, I was like, I don't know about this. And then when the ending like came, like once it was over, I was like, yeah, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
And it just became a phenomenon.
I don't know if that counts as a horror film or not, but I'm gonna go with What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
That's
I
on my
actually
list,
watched, I
too.
watched that yesterday.
Have you seen the TV show?
Never
Yes,
seen
I
Yeah.
started the first season, didn't get through it, but I want to continue it.
I love the movie and the
Mhm.
show. That's my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Anything Taika Waititi touches is gold in my opinion. So
Except for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Hmm.
it.
He still got it though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
I
not
think
great.
people are too hard on him for just
Yeah.
crapping
Oh,
on
yeah,
him for that
100%.
movie. It's
I-
like if he had full freedom, I'm sure, which he does because it's very much his style. But
Yeah,
I still feel like you can't always just hate on someone if they're in a Marvel or DC because
Yeah.
there is studio interference. So.
yeah,
100%.
It's like look at David Fincher. If David Fincher got discouraged after Alien 3, he wouldn't have
Yeah.
all these movies.
Yeah.
So for my third round pick, I'm still surprised this one is there. I'm gonna go The Conjuring.
Conjuring, James
Yeah.
Wan.
I think that's the scariest horror I'd say I've watched. In my opinion, I think it's one of the scariest. I know it's like loads of jump scares, but they utilize them so well. I think it's James Wan is one of the best horror directors there is today. But I love it so much.
Yeah.
So for the fourth round pick, I'm gonna go The Shining.
I still haven't seen it.
Those there as well. I know it's a generic pick, but I'm taking it.
I think it's insane that it went that long.
I'm very surprised too.
That would have been probably my next pick. So.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of generic picks, I'm gonna take Psycho.
Okay.
Nice.
You have not seen that, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's one of the first horror films I've ever seen, and maybe one of the only OG ones, let's say.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it as my fourth pick.
I only watched that
Very good.
at the start of October.
Mm-hmm.
I that's maybe the best black and white film that I've seen. It's really good. The only Alfred Hitchcock that I've seen.
Same.
Yeah.
We are back to me, and I'm going to go with. You know what? There's other ones that I would put on here because they're more my speed, but
Yeah.
some of them aren't they're not your classical horror. So I want to go with kind of a classical horror pick. I'm going to go with the original A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Solid pick.
Thank you.
Well, going back to what you're saying, a classical pick, I got to go with Child's Play, the original.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the movie that got me into horror.
That's the one that got me out of it.
It's funny. I don't know if I've ever seen a Chucky movie all the way through, but
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
so many times, you know.
Yeah.
They
I was
just
gonna
get
say
crazy
the
and convoluted, but the first two, I feel like you would enjoy it.
same thing.
Yeah, I
But then
need to revisit those. Those are ones I haven't seen in a long time. But that is a great pick. We had to get some horror icons on here.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Just didn't want to use them too early.
Yeah.
I thought they got taken. That's why I was like, I'm thinking.
And we are in the last round. We've kind of been burning through these picks.
Yeah. Geez.
But Draco's leading it off.
Oh snap! I didn't repeat. I'm gonna start this. This is round 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with Gremlins.
Nice.
I'm not a massive fan of the Gremlins, but hey, if you like it, you like it.
Yeah, I really feel like Jalen's went with the picks that you love, man.
Yeah. That's what you should do.
I mean, all of us have, but
Yeah.
it's like pulling Hush and even Gremlins. It's like gotta have some different picks,
100%.
Because you wouldn't hear people talk about that really, but
No, yeah.
Gremlins.
Some people say Gremlins is a Christmas movie. I mean,
Yeah.
One of the best.
I think it is. I
My
think it is.
I mean, there is death in it. Gremlins, they
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And I remember they showed me that movie in preschool. I remember to this day, I was so scared. I'm like, why are you showing this to 4-year-olds?
Very good question.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a pick that a lot of people don't say is a horror movie.
Mhm.
I don't personally think it's scary. I just think it's a masterpiece, and I think it's definitely classified as a horror. I'm going to go with M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, that's a horror.
I'd have to count that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a, I guess, like
Oh wow.
drama, but it's still horror. I mean,
There's a lot of movies you can that go between genres. Some might be a thriller or horror, but like a lot of them blend into horror genres. I'd say that's definitely horror.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely M. Night's best, I think.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so for my final pick, I'm gonna take Last Night in Soho by Edgar Wright, since my top Edgar Wright pick was stolen. So I'm gonna go with my second Edgar Wright pick.
Nice.
Does anybody else?
This is a movie that I feel has been hated on a lot and doesn't deserve all the hate it got.
It does not.
I actually haven't seen it.
You should. It's really good.
That is a good pick. I really like that movie. I think it's not like high up on my Edgar Wright list, but that's fine because he's one of the best directors ever. But it's still really good. I definitely think it's overrated.
He actually liked my review on Instagram about the film. I wrote a review on the film, and he liked my Instagram review.
Really?
That was like one of the best days of my life.
For real, man. I always think about that. It's like when I'm putting out this review, either good or bad, I'm like, is the filmmaker or somebody a part of this movie going to see this? You know, that's why I never try to be too harsh. You know.
Yeah.
The final pick. I'm gonna go for this one. This is a bit of a polarizing film. Some people like it, some people hate it, but it does have a bit of a cult following for people that like it. I'm gonna go with *Malignant*. James Wan.
Okay.
Yes,
Never
I have it
seen
on my
it.
list.
You're talking to a guy who did not like it.
No.
I think the last like 15, 20 minutes is absolute bonkers. But
Yeah,
leading
it
up
is.
to it, just I was checked out for a lot of it.
Okay, that's
It's
fair.
just not. I like James Wan a lot, and I think he's
Yeah.
made some of the most iconic horror movies ever. For me, that's going to be on the lower end for James Wan's filmography. But a lot of people love it. You know.
Yeah,
I feel
I
it.
love it. *Malignant* is goated.
I used to hate it, but now I'm a fan.
Yeah, maybe if I rewatched
What's
it,
next?
it definitely deserves a rewatch.
Yeah, it is. It was. I watched it twice, and on rewatch it, I thought it might have gone down. But it was better, I think, even on rewatch. Because obviously expect it going in as well. So.
But let's go through all of our picks,
Mhm.
and we'll start off with Jalen.
I think I remember I did Ready or Not, Shaun of the Dead, Hush, Child's Play,
And then you
and
had
then
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Yeah, there. That was.
That was it. All right, so that was Jalen's team. It was a really good draft. My team, I chose Scream, Ari Aster's Hereditary, Jordan Peele's Get Out, the original A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense.
For my team, I have Midsummer, Psycho, Coraline, What We Do in the Shadows, and Last Night in Soho.
Very
Great
good
picks.
draft.
Great draft. And for my draft, I picked The Thing, The Exorcist, James Wan's The Conjuring, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and *Malignant*.
Nice.
Mhm.
So
Solid team.
A
The Malignant
polarizing.
fans. Oh, wow.
Yeah, the James Wan fans, we know who they're rooting for.
So people should vote in the comments then for who they think has the best draft.
So my team, my draft.
Unfortunately, though, KB, I feel like anybody gets hate, you might. But
Yes.
we'll back you up. I'll back you up for.
But that's from horror fans.
Yeah,
What if they're just casual film fans?
then probably.
I think
Well, definitely
my
like that pick.
my draft has like the most general appeal because I'm not a big horror fan, so I'm guessing people who aren't big horror fans.
I mean,
Or
yeah,
just,
you had a lot of versatility. I mean, going from Midsummer to Coraline is
But
very different.
that also means I'm gonna have a very busy October, as I said, just to watch most of the films on your lists, as I haven't seen most of them.
Yeah. Do y'all have any
Definitely do that.
honorable mentions that y'all want to mention?
Great
Y'all have any?
question. I have a whole bunch.
Y'all just want
I
to
do.
go through a couple?
I got to
that
shout
y'all
out
have that-
It 2017,
I had that on mine too.
Jennifer's Body.
Haven't seen.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I have one shout out
That's it.
to a movie you really like, The Invisible Man.
Okay, yeah.
Nope, Us, like Jordan Peele's whole
Yeah.
filmography.
Mhm.
And I also really liked A Quiet Place.
Yes, I have all three of those
Yeah.
in the
I
article.
like *Quiet Place Part 2 more, but both of them I think
Yeah.
are very good.
Dude, I love
both as a franchise
Yeah.
are worthy of mentioning.
Would like to shout out, obviously, we have Jaws,
Yeah.
Sinister,
Mhm.
Silence of the Lambs,
Mhm.
The Lighthouse. I feel like if we would have had maybe more movies, like 10 movies, then a lot of these
Would be
kind of
taken.
ones that maybe some people don't talk
Would've made
about
it.
or ones that aren't going to be top 5 pick worthy, we would have had a little more to name off. But,
Mhm.
I mean, hey, it was a good draft. It was a good first draft for us. But y'all want to go into something else? Y'all want to talk about maybe some of the horror movies you've already watched in October, or
I'm gonna be real, I have not been watching as many movies as I should be. School is kicking my ass. But I mean, I've watched Saw 10, Babysitter 1 and 2. That's all I got right now, sadly.
More than me, I haven't watched any horror films this October.
What have you watched?
Yeah.
Many films in general in October?
Mhm.
What have you watched?
yeah, it doesn't just have to be horror.
Yeah.
I was just watching some of the shows I was watching. I finished The Continental. I've been just
I mean, we
up
got
to
time.
date on Star Trek, Star Wars.
Mhm.
Finished Only Murders in the Building, Reservation Dogs. Like all of these came to an end within the past 2 weeks, so I've been focused
Still
on
gotta
that.
watch that.
Nice.
Mhm.
Just on the TV show grind. I see you, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Sean? You watched anything recently?
Yeah, I have an October
You
kind
too.
of horror watch list I'm trying to get through. I'm always a day behind because I feel like after work I'm like, oh no. But even reviewing them, watching them, I'm still keeping up. But so I've watched Psycho, Cure. That's a Kurosawa film. Psycho, Cure, The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and What We Do in the Shadows. I've watched them so far. And I don't know if any of you have watched these so far. Have you any of you watched Wes Anderson's short films on Netflix? He's
Yeah.
released new ones.
I
I've
haven't.
watched
For me, this
I started
month
with
has
the first
just been horror and his short films.
same here.
And I haven't watched Poison, but I watched the other 3.
I watched Poison, Ratcatcher, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. I think the best so far I've watched is Henry Sugar. That's really good.
Yeah, I would say that's the best, but it's also the longest.
Yeah, it is. So just
But I really liked The Swan. That one was really good.
I haven't seen that one actually.
Rupert Friend is really good in that movie, or in that short film.
Yeah.
But the same as Sean, I've watched some of the Wes Anderson short films that he's come out with, and then I watched Scream. I watched Mike Flanagan's Oculus, and I really enjoyed that. I'm a Flana stan, so I'm trying to watch everything that he's come out with, but I've only watched one of his shows, The Haunting of Hill House, so I need to get on his other shows. But then I watched The Strangers and The Blair Witch Project. Both good, but I didn't love them like other people.
I don't blame you.
But that's okay. And then last night I watched one, but I can't remember. Oh, I watched The Babadook.
Okay.
That one was a good rewatch.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. Kind of campy, but also has some really good emotional moments. And
it's scary as well. It's quite scary.
Yeah, like I was actually like last night when I turned out the light, I was like, "Am I just gonna see the Babadook like on my ceiling?" Like, so yeah, it definitely frightened me. But I've been just kind of, besides the Wes Anderson short films, I've been trying to watch as many horror movies as I can. I started that last October was the most horror movies I'd ever watched, probably period.
Yeah.
So every October, I'm trying to either watch fall films or horror films.
I saw Mike Flanagan's coming out with another TV show soon.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's next week. I'm almost sure it's next week. It's called The Fall of the House of Usher or something like that.
Yeah, The Fall of the House of the Usher, or something like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've only seen Haunting of Hill House as well. I watched a few episodes of The Haunting of Bly Manor, and what I did wasn't a fan of that. The Haunting of Hill House was like perfect. It's easily one of the best horror things I've watched. Period. So yeah, he's a great horror director.
And what really is great about that show is the storytelling. And
Oh, exactly. Like it's one of the best like scripts as well for a horror. I know sometimes horror movies can be quite generic sometimes with their tropes and stuff, but that's so like unique and original.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mix of both. It has great jump scares and great storytelling as well.
I think it has the greatest jump scare of all time.
I literally shit myself.
Watching that with my sister was so great. Just the scream, the jump. I was like anticipating it because I was like my third or fourth time watching it. And I was like, "Oh, you're in for it, man."
I always hear about that jump scare, but I'm glad I don't know what it is.
Good, yeah, that's it's so much better going in blind.
Mm-hmm. You want to cap it at 30 minutes?
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
All right. So that was our first episode as the Filmtastic4. We did a horror draft because it is a spooky season. So if you watch this, you listen to this, make sure to hit us up in the comments or DMs and let us know who do you think had the best horror draft. I am Caleb. I'm your co-host, and y'all want to just say anything to the listeners before we get out of here?
I'm KB. Make sure you vote for me.
You have free will. Do as you please.
I'm Sean. Thanks for listening to us and watching us. And yeah.
All right, guys. We will see y'all later, and we'll make sure to be cooking up something really good for y'all on the next episode of the Filmtastic4. Y'all have a great one.